Hi guys, so it is Monday and it is the first day on quarantine, and I wanted to sit back and just give you guys some really good advice on what this means and how you can use this time for the benefit of your good. A lot of people are in a place where they are going to be working from home for the next foreseeable future. Honestly, we don't have an end date. It changes every day. It's 2 weeks, then it may be 8 weeks, then today they're saying July and August, like, who knows? So first and foremost, one, mind over matter. Regardless of your current situation and regardless of all the stuff that you're having to deal with and that is on your plate, you have to have a positive mind frame. That's the only way to go over. Other than that, your fear, your doubt, it will cripple you. It will be a place where you cannot move forward. And that is the worst place to be, because things are still happening. People are still relying on you. And if you're not in a place where you're completely, happy with your life, then there's things that you're depending on you for. Your future you is depending on you. And there's a lot of, during plagues and things like that, a lot of good comes out of it. I want to say, was the plague when the apple fell on either Albert Einstein or Thomas Edison, one of those, that was during the time that it fell on his head, and quantum physics was born, and so much and so forth. So all I'm saying is that not all is bad. If you're working from home, I'm going to give you some tips. And if you're thinking maybe I've never worked from home before, and so now is my time where you can really push your brand, I'm here to give you some tips about that as well. And I also want to say, if there's anybody that's watching, because this is on YouTube, so if there's anybody that's watching this and you're like, should I do a YouTube? Now is the time. Now is the time to do your YouTube. If you're looking for a sign, this is the sign. I think that what we're seeing now more than ever is that having that digital platform, that digital brand, those digital products are more important than ever. And so what did I do today? Today, I revamped and finalized my 6-week course called Marketing Makes Sense. And so Marketing Makes Sense is all about creating a course that will teach you the pillars of creating a successful marketing strategy. So there are 6 pillars that you need, regardless if it's a product, a service, or a coaching program. Regardless of what the actual it is, you need these things. And so it's going to be for you. I'm going to list it below. Take advantage. I actually have 3 payment plans. I have 1 where you can just pay it outright. I have 2 where you can pay monthly. And then I have 1 where you can pay monthly for the next 6 months. So whatever your range is, we have an option for you, and it's amazing. It's one of my best bodies of work, and it's best specifically for people that are like, I don't know marketing, but I want to learn it, or I am stuck and I don't know how to get myself to the next level. There's something for everybody, and for me, like I said, I'm talking specifically to the people that are doing a great job in corporate America, but they want to have that side hustle. You want to be that consultant or have your own coaching program. Utilizing the skills and the tools and the geniuses that you already have. This is the course for you. So go ahead and click below and, DM me if we need to have any offline conversations, but go ahead and do that. And on behalf of the fact that there is this coronavirus and everybody is inside for the unforeseeable future, what I am doing is I am offering everybody half off of my consulting sessions. So you can, again, click the link below and just use the code coronavirus, all one word, and you will get 50% off of those sessions. And we can meet virtually. We can come up with some custom strategies, some custom marketing plans specifically for you, and I'll be happy to help and have this be the pivot that you needed. So for me, I purposely did not answer any text messages. I did not, really answer any phone calls besides my dad during the work week, because I really wanted to focus. And so my goal was to work on this course. I've been working on this course for forever, but I really honestly knocked it out in 2 days. I started filming and recording on Sunday, and I finalized everything today. So that just goes to show that, one, I'm not as great as a multitasker as I like to believe. And probably you aren't either, right? But two, what happened? What did I do differently? What can you do to make sure that you're productive? So here are some tips when you're working from home. One, you want to make sure that you get up and do your regular morning routine, whether that's reading the Bible, meditation, prayer, looking at the news, maybe looking at a TV show. Whatever your morning routine is, do it. Get up, bathe. You want to make sure that you eat. You want to make sure that you brush your teeth, do your hair. If it makes you feel better, put on makeup. You want to get up and do that. The next thing you want to do is you want to treat yourself like you are actually working. So, those long phone calls in the middle of the day, if you wouldn't do that during work for like your friends or your family or whatever, keep those to a minimum as well. You also want to make sure that you limit, especially if you're trying to really focus, the amount of visitors and drop-by guests. You don't want those to happen either. Especially if you're having a place where like you have a manager, or this is like I said, your first time working from home, because everybody's going to be looking to see, one, is your productivity level going to stay the same? Is it going to get better, or is it going to decrease? And so you want to prove to them that you can do this, so that once this is all over, you do now have the option to fight for working from home, or more work from home privileges, or working remotely, or being able to travel and still work. There's a lot of good that can come from it, specifically, talking about the individual and the conversations that they can have with their boss once they prove themselves, because this is what you're doing. You're proving yourself that you can really, do this for real and be productive and be a functioning member in your organization and still be trustworthy, still answer emails at a nice time, and all that other things that you need to do. But also set boundaries. Because you're working from home does not mean that you need to be available 24 hours. You need to make sure that you have that balance, whatever that looks like, so different people have different ways of balancing. So it literally depends on what your normal work schedule is. I'm not saying that everything needs to be 9 to 5. I'm just saying you need to make sure that you have boundaries. You should not be answering emails at 2 a.m. No, just because you're from home does not mean that you are available 24 hours. Make sure that you eat lunch and you, open a window or do a mid-afternoon exercise, whatever you need to do to keep going, because you don't get to stretch. Take a walk around the block. Make sure that you are able to do that. And then at night, make sure that you are having some fun or being productive, right? So you can have fun, like watching a movie or chatting to people, and depending on where you're at, you can still have people over. Just make sure that they are not infected, not possibly infected. And if you have a situation where you're dealing with older people, please be advised. But they're not saying that we can't meet people. If I wanted to go home and be at my parents' house, no one's stopping me. I can definitely do that if I want some fellowship or anything else like that. But now is the time for you to really figure out your business, because that commuting back and forth to work, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to commute. So you're saving all this time. So how are you making this time useful? How are you making this time useful? And I would even go even further to say, how can you incorporate some of your personal brands, goals, and actions into the workday? Because if you're like me, like most people aren't working 9 to 5 straight 9 to 5, right? People talk about how they start dropping off at 2 o'clock or that 3 o'clock hour. So whatever your goals are for the day, how fast can you actually complete those goals? How fast can you complete those tasks? What big project are you working on, and how fast can you work on those things to the point that you're like, I'm complete? Now, you know, with work is one of those things where like it's never finished. I used to get so frustrated with like one of these jobs that I had where I would like work throughout the weekend to finish everything so I could be like, okay, I'm good, and I can like, you know, coast for a couple of days, and they would always give me more work. So work is never going to be completed. Get that out your head. And then once you have that, what do you need to do or to work on to get you through to the next day? What works for you that you're able to positively move forward in a place where you are good? And then you can work on your other things. So really, I would take this time to figure out what you can outsource, what you need to work on, the whole shebang. And that is going to be my little 2 cents on what you need to do to get through this coronavirus, and tips on working from home, and, you know, my update on what I did the first day of quarantine lockdown. All right, guys. Well, please comment, like, and subscribe, and share to someone that is just starting out with their first work from home experience. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.